After I returned from Ceysan, I called Alt to tell him Mason Bowers had taken a 40-foot leap. The guy was so broken up, he hung up the phone. I'm not sure if Bowers' death ended Alt's interest in this whole sorry mess, but my gut tells me I'll need his help if I'm ever going to solve this case. I decided to visit St. Germain to find more information about the Tesla egg.
So, how goes the investigation? I don't suppose you have any news regarding that egg we talked about?
Well, everybody's talking about the Tesla egg, but I think I've got a lead on it.
Ah, the egg of Columbus, the copper egg. Unveiled by Tesla at the Chicago World's Fair in 1893, it was the very heart of a small prototype that, some say, would become his most notorious invention.
But you seem underwhelmed, and that's not good.
You know the story of Tunguska?
Well, I do now.
If you believe, as many do, that the Tunguska explosion was caused by the Tesla death ray, and you believe that the Tesla egg is a core component of the death ray, well, then the egg would be of immense fortune. Tell me, what do you believe, Mr. Murphy?
I believe you know a lot more than you're telling me.
Are you familiar with Paradise Lost?
Isn't that one of those resorts for swingers?
Paradise Lost is a poem about the great divide in heaven when Lucifer was cast out. After his banishment, Lucifer swore revenge and created an army of his own. He and his followers waited in darkness for their chance to strike back at the god who cast them out. After a 3-day battle against the faithful angels, the forces of evil were banished from heaven for all eternity.
Well, I like it when the good guys win.
Yes. But what if the war were not over? What if Lucifer had not been defeated but lay in wait, preparing for his chance to overthrow heaven?
Well, debating hypothetical fairy tales is a little nerdy for me.
Look at the world around you. Did heaven win the battle? Man has created hell on earth. And the longer man exists, the further he descends from the wisdom and discernment needed to overcome the darkness. At his core, he is a grasping, clawing, foolish creature, willing to commit any sin to appease his base and greedy nature.
I thought I was jaded. You really think we're as bad as all that?
There are still some who give me hope. You, I'm not sure about. Your role, whether for good or evil, has yet to be determined.
He's not so bad. Does he have the egg?
No, my dear. Entirely the wrong egg. An interesting trinket, to be sure, but not the egg I'm searching for.
Well, if it isn't Ariel Bowers. You know, I hope I pronounced that correctly because Bowers doesn't have a wife.
Great work, Detective. How long did that take to figure out?
Not long, after Bowers told me.
I have to confess, I haven't been totally honest with you on some things.
Just some?
I didn't know who you were when you first interrupted my own search of Bowers' place.
And what were you doing there?
I work for an organization you wouldn't have heard of. We're based out of St. Petersburg.
In Florida.
Russia.
How about you?
I don't work for anyone. Just the greater good. And my own little passions, of course. Ariel and I have crossed paths on several occasions. This time we seem to have some objectives in common, so we pooled our resources.
Yeah, I'm well familiar with Ariel's resources. How common are your objectives and mine?
That depends. You the kind of man who lets innocent people die?
Not normally, no.
You've heard of the Tesla Legacy Society. At one time, it had a membership of hundreds. After Charles Johansson died, the numbers dwindled. Some time ago, all those people vanished without a trace. I'd hoped to find some answers from Bowers.
Oh, I got news for you. He's not dead. He's back.
He's the translator, I presume.
The one building the immortal coil. You say you like it when the good guys win? You plan on doing anything about that?
Oh, sure. Leave it to me, as always. What are you two gonna do about it?
This is not my battle to fight.
He knows me. I won't be able to get close to him like you can.
You shall have to find the Tesla egg first. Of course.
Great. I didn't even think of that. Well, if you don't have any more helpful tips...
Until we meet again, Mr. Murphy. And something tells me we will.
Until next time. Kiss for luck. You'll need it.
After visiting with St. Germain, the former Mrs. Bowers invites me to a place called the Resort and says she has information to exchange.
Well, well. If it isn't Dudley Do-Right. Caught me red-handed.
And if it isn't Natasha Vitale, you and Boris Barinov have certainly pulled a fast one on me.
Saint Germain isn't part of this. He's a collector looking for the Fabergé egg. I'm an agent looking to infiltrate the translator.
Well, let me guess. You specialize in undercover operations.
No, I really am. The organization I work for, you couldn't pronounce it, but in English it's called the White Guard. We've been monitoring the translator for years. We've had our eye on you as well. So are you going to interrogate me? I have so much to confess.
Why are you acting like I'm even slightly in control of this situation?
I'll be honest with you. I need your help, Tex. And I can help you, but I had to find out where your loyalties were.
My loyalties lie with me. Nobody else.
That's why we're here, together, alone. I hope you don't mind I took the liberty of ordering some food. Should be here any minute. I thought we could have a bite, get to know each other a little better.
Set the spider to the fly.
I told you, Tex, I've had my eye on you for a while. And as you know, I'm not married. Who knows what lies ahead?
What lies ahead? That may be the truest thing you've ever said to me.
It's a rough world out there. Any of us could be dead tomorrow. I live in the moment. And right now, I want that moment to be with you.
Ariel, I have any number of reasons to keep you at arm's length. But right now, I just need one. There's a woman that I care about. I might even be in love with her. And until I know for sure, I can't afford to live in the moment. No matter how gorgeous or enticing that moment might be.
I know things. Things you might want to know.
I'm sure that you do. But if they come with strings attached, I'm not interested.
Okay, I promise. No strings attached. That must be the food. I'm just going to change real quick.
No changing.
Okay. I need to get this out before you say anything. I get it. You don't know me anymore. But I know you, and I'm not just going to give up on what we had. It may not have been much, but I wanted it to be much, and I'm here just to see if you'll give us one more chance, please. Please.
Look, I know 7 years have passed. I realize that. But to me, it's yesterday. I'm in love with Chelsea, and if there's any chance that I can find her and that she's alive, I can't commit to any other woman.
I hope you find what you're looking for, Tex. I really do. And if you ever decide to let go of the past, come look me up. I might still be here.
I wish just once I'd had a man love me like you love this Chelsea person. Who is she?
She's the reason you've got to leave.
Okay, I'll leave. But I may be back tomorrow.
Boy, resisting both Taylor and Ariel took all the willpower I could muster. They're both incredibly tempting in their own right. I feel Chelsea's out there somewhere. I know in my soul she's the perfect one, and I need to find her. As I contemplate my next move, I get a call from Archie, who says he has a lead for me, and I should come over right away.
So have you heard any more about the Tesla cache or Margaret Leonard? I mean, if she can't fix it, how are you going to get your memory back?
It's not just my memory, it's my life I want back.
Those Morlocks, I think that there's a connection between them and Margaret Leonard. I mean, see, the other day when you got knocked out, Margaret was in your apartment, right? The Morlock hunters told me they'd never seen so many Morlocks around Chandler Avenue. They said it was like something or someone was drawing them there. I mean, no one knows what they were doing around here. They were scattered after Margaret died. Now the hunters say that quite a few of them have been showing up in one particular area outside the city. I got a location for you. That's the most recent photo of Margaret Leonard I could find. Like I said, she's been out of circulation for a while. We were talking about some stuff. Tesla, Romanovs, Fabergé, that sort of thing. He sure seems to know a lot about everything. No. He'd go on into these weird trances and talk about past life stuff. You know, pretty intriguing until you get to where he starts going on about Atlantis. Don't know about that. She's dead? And she was living right here for years. How do you always find yourself right in the middle of everything? You have a gift, my friend.
So who is Margaret Leonard really? Is she a modern Dr. Mengele experimenting on damaged human beings for her own gratification? And why is she the critical key to my world over the last 7 years? My head's still spinning when I spot the location 200 feet below me.
I've got a bad feeling about this. Of course, I've always got a bad feeling about this. Could you just go ahead and place me in a hard case?
You know, I've always thought that wood is a key ingredient to starting any fire. Bucket of nails is always helpful when you want to fix something. Why does this have... Looks like I'll need 5 planks, a hammer, and some nails if I'm going to repair this lab. That man over there could be Mantis. Yeah, I've never really been interested in yard work. Sign says the water's toxic, but how dangerous could it be?
Has there ever been a bigger idiot than you?
Well, this'll come in handy. I'm not sure that man is friend or foe. Yeah, it's a plank. Now I could use that. Someone's watching me, and it's making me feel incredibly uneasy. Nice. Better steer clear of the waters. God knows what could be lurking in that. Well, that might come in handy. Now, with 5 planks and some rusty nails.
Well, yeah, that'll work. Ding, 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 ding.
Now, I fixed it, and it appears to be some sort of ladder. This card could be used to get in the front door. My name's Tex. I'm not here to hurt you.
Liar! Liar!
Me, friend. You, Morlock.
Ah! Friend? Slave! Killer!
I'm sorry. Is there something I can do to help you? A glass of water, a donut?
Get it out of my head!
So, maybe some medication for you?
Help me? Slave? Die! Die!
Kids. They never shut the door when they go out to play. That must be Mantis, and my guess is Margaret Leonard left some medication to control his affliction somewhere in the swamp house. Looks like there could be something hiding underneath this dirt. Yep, garden shears are perfect for trim. I wonder if there's a way to get these valerian flowers to grow quickly. I never cared for pliers. Like an ike hammer. Sucker's game. Books help. And nothing like a big old desk to rifle through. Got it. cabinet lock is broken, so I'll need to find another way to open it. The zipper on this cushion's stuck. It's a safe key. Yeah, there's more to this. Well, another matchbook to add to my collection. Very. Something big just moved, and there's smoke coming out from behind the panel. What's a pot for planting? This pot is ready for seeds to be planted in.
Hey!
The picture looks similar to the one downstairs, except the one downstairs had 3 numbers on it. Ashtray. Yummy. This key belongs to an Ultra Pro 900 lock. Crap-a-lot. Whoa, that's one old vid phone. It's got a message on it, but it's an empty vial. The Mike and Ike Hammer candy. That's why I always insist on guests using coasters. Ah, it's open to the centerfold. I'll need to shine a powerful light on this plant to make it. Come in handy. Valerian flowers, when placed in a vial and combined with alcohol.
Well, yeah, that'll work.
Tool shed.
I know what you're thinking, and that's not a good idea.
Oh, it's C4 chewing gum. This stuff packs quite a wallop, but it is grape. I love grape flavor. On second thought, I better find another use for this. Is this? It is. It's actual moonshine.
What crime against humanity?
Looks like I'll need some. I'll need to reshape this metal cup. Well, maybe I should get something to place the cog in the fire with besides my hand. I'm sure Thor's big hammer. security card. I know tongs are great for pulling my chestnuts out of the fire.
I guess luck.
Now I can place this cog in a fire and... The cog's fixed and ready to be put back. Wow, that Morlock is a lethal hazard. But it's energy driven, so maybe I could short circuit him somehow, like getting him wet. Margaret made sure this place would... There's blood all over the floor. This machine monitor... That's the interocitor IQ measurement system. I should try this baby out and see what a genius I am.
Don't, Tex. You may not like what you find. Dr. Zaius was right. A man like you is inferior to the simian in every way.
It's a chemical mixer for creating medicine. I'll need to place a vial filled with alcohol and valerian...
I've assembled the spirit radio. Tonight will be my first attempt to contact my husband. The radio is working. I hear voices that are incoherent, eerie, and tantalizing. There must be some way to amplify the power. My last attempt was a near disaster, similar to what happened to Tesla back in 1899. The frequency caused a vibration that increased until I thought the house would split in two. I had to smash the radio. Now I have to start all over. I don't want to get my hopes too high, but I believe I've made contact. I brought the radio into the lab, and I swear that being close to Charles's cryo chamber has intensified the signal. I'm sure it's his voice, but I can't understand what he's saying. I've recorded hours of the voice and had experts analyze the audio from every angle. We've deciphered 3 words: void, return, immortal. I've reached an impasse. I wonder if the Tesla egg, could it amplify the radio's power? It's been weeks since I've heard Charles's voice on the spirit radio. I wonder if the Gideon parasites have moved ahead without me and brought him back to life. It's been years since I made an entry in this video journal. Charles is dead and lost to me forever, and I will die soon. The translator lives, and one way or another, whoever sees this, Mantis, Mason, it's up to you to stop the translator.
Stopping the translator isn't going to be easy, and the Tesla egg and spirit radio seem to be the keys. Somehow the information Margaret Leonard took to the grave needs to be uncovered. Is that even possible? I have an eerie feeling it is. Well, hell, that ought to do it. This medicine should control Mantis's pain. Well, hell, that ought to do it. I waited near the front door, ready for him to show up, but not as ready as I should have been.
Sorry. I can't control it.
Tell you what, give me the Tesla egg, we'll call it even. You're the one that prays, aren't you?
Yes. I am Mantis.
Praying Mantis? Oh, I am losing my touch. Any PI with a salt would have figured that one out.
That was Margaret's code. So she did send you. It just seems strange she took such a risk coming to see you, so she could give you the injection.
How do you know about that?
Because I was there, and she wanted you to forget everything you had done.
Yeah, well, she pretty much accomplished that.
Yeah. And here you are. Seems kind of strange.
Strange? You know what I find strange? I saw a video of Margaret torturing you.
She wasn't torturing me. She had been helping me for a very long time.
But you're a Morlock. She made you this way.
You can't blame her. I chose this path. I volunteered to take one of the greatest technological leaps of all time, cryotechnology. I was one of the founding members of the Tesla Legacy Society. Along with others, I allowed myself to die and be brought back. We dreamed of waking to a world reborn. But we found ourselves worse off than before. And worst of all, we no longer were the people we had been. The cryosleep had unforeseen complications.
Well, at least cryogenics is now partially covered under major medical.
Only a few of us escaped the physical deformities from the freeze. Worse is what it did to our minds. Drove us to madness.
So how come the Tesla Society hasn't taken care of you guys? Certainly the burden shouldn't just fall on Margaret.
The Tesla Legacy Society and its creations are no more.
So what happened? I mean, I know a little of your history since Charles Johansson joined you.
Johansson. I believed in him once. He was our martyr. We carried his work to the foot of his holy cryo chamber. We knew that one day he would return to take us to this glorious future.
And he did return.
Yeah, he was now the translator. He was delusional only as the greatest zealots are. He believed he knew the will of Tesla. He was going to create a gateway, a celestial conduit, between heaven and earth. He called it the immortal coil.
Gotcha.
He was determined to build it at any cost. And in the end, we banished him from the society. But he didn't stay banished. Months later, he returned with a small group of men, led by the one known as Slade. They attacked the facility, sparing no one. I saw Slade himself put a gun to my wife's head while she begged for her life. And he pulled the trigger. When it was over, they removed every trace of the Tesla Legacy Society. Its files, its equipment. There was only one thing left behind.
And that was?
A key bit of information. The spirit radio frequencies. They were stored in the clouds that Charles never knew about.
And these were important.
It may be the only way to stop Charles from activating the immortal coil.
And that would be bad?
It's very bad. As in splitting the planet in two bad. I'll tell you where to find the egg. But I need you to find those frequencies first.
Before I head off to the Tesla Legacy Society, I get a call from Thompson Auld inviting me over to his house. Sounds like he's ready to talk.
Any luck locating the spirit radio?
I've got some leads, but it all seems to tie to something called the immortal coil.
I found something that you might find interesting. They did some experiments with interfacing brain circuitry. You might have been one of the first test subjects.
I'm sorry.
Memories are simply electronic impulses, and we are the sum of our memories. Now, on a cellular level, you're a completely different person than you were 7 years ago. But your essence is exactly the same as it was that night with Chelsea outside of the Golden Pagoda.
How do you know about Chelsea?
Well, first, and you may already know this, Chelsea is Margaret Leonard's daughter. Now, Margaret had lost her husband, and she was overwhelmed. So she put Chelsea in the care of a mutant family, the Bandos, and then tried to forget that she'd ever had a child.
That's pretty cold.
Well, it was a decision that she's regretted for decades. And years later, when she found Chelsea living at the Ritz, she rented a room so she could be close, but never revealed her true identity.
Yeah, and that's why we got abducted.
Now, Margaret was being funded by Gideon Enterprises, and an opportunistic manager named Dalton Fisk found out that Margaret's husband had stolen some very important documents.
The Tesla cache.
Dalton tried forcing Margaret into reanimating Charles, but she refused and disappeared. But then Dalton discovered that she had a daughter, and he came after her. Now, I don't know if her memory has been manipulated or if it's so painful that she can't share it, but I do know that she's left her old life behind.
So Chelsea's alive? And you know that for sure?
I do. She's my wife.
You married my girlfriend?
Mason asked me to look after her for protection. Which reminds me, I meant to get you the canister.
Whoa, wait a second. I mean, you're gonna finish this, right? There's other parts of the story?
Margaret didn't want to know where she had gone. Chelsea needed someone, and we grew quite fond of each other. We had a good life together. But you see, I'd been in love with someone who couldn't return my feelings, and so I'd come to accept my bachelorhood. But you know, somehow, marrying Chelsea just felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah, but I'm in love with Chelsea, and you're married to her. What happens next?
I'll tell you what happens now. How about we go get that cryo chamber with old Maggie's head in it?
We can't let him have it.
Oh, hold on, partner there. No need to get violent or anything. Let's just see if we can work this out, okay?
God. Oh, up there, is it?
You're hurt pretty bad. We've got to get you to the hospital.
No, you have to stop him. If they get inside her head,
trample under everything that Mason was fighting for.
Look, I know what they're after, and I think I can beat them to it. It's the Tesla egg, so let's just get you out of here.
Go! Go!
You're coming with me. Come on.
I couldn't shake the look of fear I saw in Alt's eyes as he was lying in a pool of his own blood. Slade had blown a hole through the little man without even a second thought. Could I really have been partners with someone like that? Maybe I did change over the last 7 years, but if I did, it has to be possible to change back. I need a weapon I can use against these psychopaths. I knew my only hope was somewhere at the Tesla Institute. Slade's trumped me at every corner, but the ace may be at Tesla.